Going live. Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully, I wonder if everybody can hear me. Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me, then just say hello. Can everybody hear me all right? Okay. All right, good. So today I want to talk about, why you're not manifesting, right? That's a great topic and a great point that I want to touch on today. Now, I do lives rarely, but I do them when I kind of get the inspiration to do them, right? So hopefully everybody can hear me. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay. Hello guys, hi. All right, so everybody's doing good today. Good. All right. So look, the thing is, as the title says, right, why you're not manifesting. Okay, why you're not manifesting. Good, loud and clear. So the reason you're not manifesting is because you have to ignore them. Who's them? You have to start to ignore your friends, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, whoever it is. You have to ignore them. Why you have to ignore them? Because everybody or everyone does not get awakened at the same time. Look, you have to understand what's going on here. You see, reality, if you want to create what you want in your life, you have to become the minority. What I'm saying is ignore, and I'm not saying for you not to love your family, your friends, your boyfriend, your husband, whoever it is. That's not what I'm saying. And what I'm speaking here is you have to have tunnel vision, because we live in a perception universe, meaning that we attract or we create based on our unique perceptions, not our friends or our families, so that's something you have to understand. And here's another thing that happens when in this reality, right? We have what we call patterns. Patterns create in this universe, patterns. So what kind of patterns am I speaking about? The pattern of your mind, when your mind sees the same thing over and over, it automatically assumes there can't be a change. What do I mean by that? So when you get up in the morning and you go out on your venture or wherever you decide to go, what always happens? You see the same thing, right? You may see the same car, the same building. Your mind says nothing ever changes. Your mind says this is the reality that we see, right? So is this reality that we see is the truth? But that's an illusion. That's an illusion created in your intellect mind, right? So what you have to start to do, if you want to manifest your desires, okay? You have to start using what I call holographic imprintation, meaning that you have to start holographically imprinting the life you want in the life you are, or the life you're living right now. What does that mean? What is holographic printing or holographic imprintation? Basically means that you're living two realities at once, meaning that when you go out and you see the car or the house or whatever you want, you have to holographically project what you want as that thing right now. So if you're living in your home and you have a dream home, then you have to holographically project when you're walking into your regular home, it is your dream home. If you want a new car and you're going into your old car, you have to holographically project that this old car is the new car. That sounds very counterintuitive. I know it does, because the mind looks for rationality and the mind looks for logic. But we're not dealing with the mind here. We're dealing with something more powerful beyond your intellect mind. We're dealing with what is known as your subconscious mind, because when you can project what I call a holographic project in real time, your subconscious mind does not know the difference. That's the big key right there. It does not know the difference, all right? So that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind. Okay, it's called holographic imprintation. You have to holographically imprint that. And let me show you what happens when you do that. Check this out. So think about this, right? In your mind, in your logical mind, in your logical thinking mind, when we have a memory, in order to have a memory, we have to have some experience, right? So if you remember something, that means you've done it before. That's why it becomes a memory in your mind, because it's something you've done. In your thinking mind, you cannot have a memory without an experience. Think about it. The things you remember are things that you've done or happened before, right? Good. All right. Now, here's a big secret that I want to show you about your subconscious mind. I want you to listen to this. Here's how it goes. Anytime you project or you visualize something over and over again, especially if you start to practice this holographic projection, every time you do that now, here's what happens. That image becomes a memory in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind works opposite than your conscious mind. So here's how it goes. In your conscious mind, the memory, right, follows the experience. So in other words, you experience something, becomes a memory. In your subconscious mind is the opposite. The memory goes first, then you get the experience. See that? Check that out. Let me repeat that. It's very important. Your subconscious mind stores memories just like in your conscious mind, but it does it backwards. So in other words, when you visualize something, it becomes a memory. Your subconscious mind thinks it's already happened. Then what it does, it has to catch up to make it an experience in your reality. It's backwards. In your conscious mind, it's the experience first, then the memory. In your subconscious mind, it's the memory first, then becomes the experience. People don't know that. People don't even understand that. See how deep that is? Okay? See that? Now, what does that mean? So what I'm telling you is this. If you keep repeating it, and if you keep seeing it, and you keep imaging or visualizing it, it's a memory. It's something that's real. Then your subconscious mind now catches up with the experience. Two different minds working. All right? So that's, yes, it's a good question. Point. The magic always happens in the subconscious mind. You cannot create in your conscious mind. And also, here's the next point you got to understand if you have difficulty creating what you want in your life. Here's the next thing. You cannot manifest or attract what you are desperate for. I got to repeat that. Desperation does not create your manifestation. Matter of fact, the more desperate and the more needy you are, the thing runs away from you. You all know that. We've all experienced that before. Have you ever wanted something really bad, or you were interested in something or someone really bad, and then you just lost interest? All of a sudden, they start chasing you, or the things start coming at you. Why is that? Because you weren't desperate anymore. You were in a state of what I call flux or allowance. Got that? So with that, we can do some questions here. I see a lot of questions here about lottery. Let's see. Lottery winning. You got to win the lottery. What is it? How? I wanted to win the jackpot. All right. Well, with the lottery, you have to, the mentality you have to have is you're not trying to win the lottery. The lottery is winning you. In other words, the lottery wants to win you more than you want to win it. The lottery is chasing you to win. That's the mindset you have to have. If you have that mindset, you change the vibration. Remember, everything is conscious. I mean, a lottery ticket has consciousness. The rock has consciousness. This couch is conscious. This thing behind me, all this is conscious. It's not a thinking conscious, it's what I call an observable level of consciousness. When I mean an observable level, it means it's picking up this couch, it's picking up my vibration, it's reading my energy right now, all this. It can tell if I'm in a desperate flux or if I'm in an open flux. Did you know that? Yeah. The reason why is because the same particles that make this, I'm just using this little wood thing here, same particles that make that up is the same particles that make me up. And what happens within the particles, we have what's called polarity. Polarity is different vibrations of the energy. Now remember, a vibration is the effect. The cause is what I put out, that intent, or that you could say a frequency, that it vibrates. So if you desire to win the lottery, your mindset has to be, it wants me more than I want it. Then you change the flux, the vibration. Then the lottery, you will start to get more wins, and eventually you could win a jackpot. Now you can use that with anything. So do you see that? Someone asked, let's see. Someone says, okay, just because an object has vibration and carrier doesn't mean it has consciousness. Actually, it does have consciousness. Let me show you how it works. Remember, a particle is comprised of light. We call that a photon. That is known as the observer effect. It says that when I am observing a particle, which can make up a rock or a chair, the atomic component of that particle is aware of my consciousness. This has been proven in the laboratory. It's called a double slit experiment. It could be a machine observing it. It could be the scientist observing it. When I'm looking or observing it, it will act in a way according to my observation. When I take my mind away from it, it goes back into a superposition state. Means it's here, there's all potential. That's not up for debate. All right, what else we have here? Thank you. Oh, somebody got a big win, a claimer today. That's actually good. When you do manifest, you say your commands. Do you say them over and over? Well, the thing with your voice, when you want to, the key to manifest, to make things work, you have to consistently talk to yourself. You have to program yourself. Program is the outer voice. Program is the thinking, because that's how you access your subconscious. What if you're getting depressed because reality isn't catching up with you fast enough? That's your conscious mind. That's your intellect mind. Depression, sadness, anxiety, stress, all that is tied to our intellect mind. Our intellect mind wants control. If it cannot control, that's when it targets your subconscious mind. You got to remember, your conscious mind is constantly communicating with your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind is an emotional mind. It gives the emotions. So when your intellect mind doesn't see something happening, it's in its time space, it gives these emotions. That's where you get sadness, depression, anxiety, because you believe it's not happening. And here's a big reason why a lot of people fail to really manifest. Is because we were taught this. All of us were conditioned this way. Here it is. You know, when I see it, then I believe it. That's the magic formula they conditioned us with. That is so against how physics and the universe works. There's nothing works that way. That is so outdated, and it's still here. And that's why people they give up and they don't have the consistency, because it really goes this way. It's when you believe it, you will see it. Everything comes in from an unformed. Matter of fact, we call it probability of existence. Everything that you see in a physical, it comes from an unformed state. Let me show you how manifestation occurs when things come into our reality. Okay? Things will come into what's first known as a gaseous state. Let me give an example. Water. There's 3 phases you can have water. You can have water as liquid, solid, it's frozen, or mist or humidity. It's in a different state, but it's the same component. So when you have a solid water, oh, you can see and touch it. You have the liquid water, you can see and touch it. But the mist, you can't see, sometimes you can't see humidity. You can't see mist because it's so fine, but it's still there. That's how things create. So when anything manifests, it comes in these states. It comes in what's known as a gaseous state. For the gaseous state basically means it's the atomic or subatomic below particles that they start to coagulate and they start to come. Then it goes into what I call a fluidity state. A fluidity state is the best example I could give you. A fluidity state, it looks like mercury. You know what mercury is? It's like a liquid, but it looks like a little metal thing. Okay, you still can't see it because it's not in our visible light spectrum, but it's there. Then the last state is the physical state. That's where our senses can pick up the visible light. Then it transfers into our reality, and we say, oh, there it is. That's how manifestation works. So to answer your question, if you think about what I just said to you, I am literally saying that whatever you want or desire, right, it's already right in next to you or in it. You're in the same space and time. You cannot be a part of it. If you look at physics or quantum physics work, all particles, they're not separate. Matter of fact, they're entangled beyond space and time. So if you think about whatever you desire or want, right, it can't be any distance from you. It's the illusion of our minds that gives us distance, or it's not there. But in actual true essence of everything, it's already part of you, is entangled. Hope that makes sense. What else we got here? Have dreams convince people. Somebody bought a Mini Cooper. Congratulations. Okay, it's hard, but there's millions of people who want the same thing. We all can't win the Powerball. That's another good question I get. Right, so the question always comes up is, man, I want to win the lottery, but so does 50 billion other people, or 50 million other people. So here's the answer to that. So someone says, I got an email, someone says, hey, does the universe just give us who works harder or who visualizes the hardest or who puts more effort into the lottery? And I say, no, it doesn't work like that. You got to remember that each individual creates his or her own bubble universe or perception universe. So that means you can win the lottery, he can win the lottery, she can win the lottery, and it doesn't affect the outcome because it's infinite. There's no shortage. You just create your own perception. So it doesn't work. So there's no competition. It's only competition if you believe that. Right? 17 times, but missed each Y. Oh, I didn't get that one. What else? How do you let go of your old paradigm and resistance? Paradigm is basically your old belief. Well, the way to let go of old beliefs is, it's kind of a paradox, but it works this way. So if you want to let go of old beliefs, first thing you have to do, you have to use your own mind against the beliefs, right? So you got to use your own conscious mind. So the first thing you got to ask yourself is this. So let me give you an example. Let's use relationships as an example. So let's say someone says, I can't, find the right person. It's hard to date. It's hard to find my perfect mate, right? No one loves me. Okay, that's a limiting belief. So that's a paradigm. That's something that says you believe you can't get that. So how do you change that belief, right, out of paradigm? So here's what you have to do, right? So you got to use your own mind against the own mind. So you ask your mind a question. First you say, okay, is this belief really true? Then you just think. Then you say to your mind, all right, so there are what, 7 billion people on the planet Earth. And you mean to tell me that are all 7 billion or 5 billion, whatever, out of all these individuals, there's no one for me. There you go. You just stumped your mind. You know that's not facts. Out of 7 billion people, your mind cannot tell you that every single body, you can't find someone good for you. That's how you destroy beliefs, just like that. That's how you get your mind, because literally, you know that in order for that belief to be true, that means 7 billion people don't want you. That's impossible. It doesn't work. That's how you break paradigms and you create. Right? What if you're bad at visualizing? Yes, that's many individuals do have issue visualizing, right? So what you can do if you're bad at visualizing is you can actually use images. You can get pictures, look at the pictures and just let it stare in your mind. And you can use feelings. You can just feel what it's like. You can actually close your eyes and just kind of feel what it would be like or what it looked like to have what you want. Right? All right. Good, good. What else we got? What is the key to winning? What is millions in the lottery? I won 20,000 in 2 years time frame. Plus, I've always been. Well, okay. The key is this. This is when it comes to money. All right. This is the principle you have to use when it comes to money and anything. It's the desperation thing. The money have to chase you. You cannot chase the money. So what do I mean by that? It's the mentality. It's a mindset. It's something like this. It's saying that, all right, let me put it to you this way. As I'm speaking to all of you guys right now, and many of you, I see different parts of the globe. I see Canada, I see Australia here, I see all over the world. At this very moment, you are already a billionaire, a trillionaire over many times. Did you know that? I'll prove it to you right now. As we're speaking, and I'm using my laptop today, so I'm using the webcam. So right now, there are trillions and billions of dollars, digital information going through us right now in transactions. There's money flowing right through you right now in the form of information or currency, but it's still money. It's flowing through you and I right now, same particles. There's millions and billions of dollars going on right now on the internet. You and I are part of it. Why? It has electromagnetic signals. Everything works with electromagnetic signals. So money money's flowing through you. So you have to have the mindset to understand that, wait a minute, money's already here. It's already going through me right now. Billions of it. So your mindset you have to make $1 million look like it's really nothing, like a penny. That expands your mind now from creating that boundary. It's all about your conscious mind. Your conscious mind will believe these things are difficult or hard to create. So that's a good way you can look at it. That's right. Everything happens now. Does the third eye help? Because I can see energy and I saw the purple orbs around me. Yes, so if you're seeing the energy around you, I would say you're very gifted. A lot of individuals don't have that right now. You can develop that. But the third eye, we call it third eye, but in reality, it's really the first eye. It's the all-seeing eye. It's the pineal gland. It's basically the third eye, or what's called the first eye. It basically operates in what's known as the etheric part of our dimension. Etheric is, so here's your body. So you have your physical body, then you have a layer beyond the body. It's called the Auric Field, your aura, your energy. You know this field because when you walk into a room or you go into the grocery store or you go next to somebody, you can feel, you can like, man, this person right here don't give me the energy. Just don't feel right. What you're experiencing is the etheric. That's where your third eye works. Your third eye works in that dimension. So you can see energy signatures of things before they manifest into physical. That's why it's so powerful. You can see beyond. It's called the first eye, to see beyond. So the third eye, I would recommend if you're going to open your third eye, first I do it organically. If you're not ready, don't push or force it, because that's where individuals get what I call hallucinogens. They start to see maybe what they call spirits or anything of that sort, or these different dimensional beings, you want to say, right? That's right. Money finds you. Money is nothing. It's more energy. I mean, within a few years, there probably won't be any more physical dollar money. Everything is moving into a digital currency now. So that means it'll be even more infinite because you can't run out. Even though they can print money every day, but I'm using a point to show you that it's already in you, it's a part of you. Like money's passing through you right now, billions in the internet, all right now, and they're all going through electromagnetic waves. But the reason we can't see them because they operate in a different light wave. You know, they operate in a different frame of light than our eyes are tuned into seeing. But nonetheless, it's going on. Just like Wi-Fi, you turn it on, you get the signal, you know, it's still passing through you, right? In small radio waves, so to speak. What is this? If you don't think about it, then how it's going to come. No, what I'm showing you here is not that you think about it. You're supposed to think about what you want. The key is here, are you desperately attached to it? So there's a fine line between thinking about something and then needing that thing in your life. That's what I'm speaking about here. What I'm speaking about here is a casual mindset of, oh, that's what I'd like to have, that's what I want, but I'm open. That's the mindset. That's how you get it in. What's the quickest tip to get rid of negative thoughts out of your mind? Okay, the quickest tip is this. You have to understand this, that you don't know this by now. Your body, you're actually not your body. What do I mean by that? Well, your body is a self-regeneration product. When you get cut, your body naturally heals itself. It doesn't need you to heal. Your nails grow when you cut them. They don't need you to grow. You don't have to say, hey, grow this, you got to grow. What I'm showing you here is your body is a self-generating field, okay? And your mind, or what you call, let's talk about the brain. The brain is like a magnet. It picks up signals, right? It picks up all these signals coming in. So minds and consciousness. So when a thought comes in, every thought that comes into you, it's not even you. It's not your, it's just thoughts. What you do is, here's a trick. The reason why negative thoughts are so powerful is because in our intellect mind, you know what we do? We take it personal. We make the thought us. But in reality, thoughts are everywhere. It's not you. It's just something that you're picking up through your consciousness. So you can either accept the thought. When you accept the thought, that's when it has effect on you. That's when it goes to your subconscious and you take it personal. So the biggest way to remove negative blocks or negative thought is to remember that when a thought comes in, it's not you. You don't have to accept it. You can choose to let it pass through. And this is a good way for you, to elevate and to move up. Right? So that's it. What do I think of the 55 times 5 method? I've heard of that method, but I'm not too familiar. Maybe someone could share a little bit more. I think it's if I'm thinking right, I think it's writing down something 55 times, right? For a few times a day. That works. It's basically the same principle. What you're doing is you're basically super programming your subconscious by writing it down all the time. You're impressing it, and it can work effectively if that's the way. Right? All right. Tell us about what? Keep seeing repeating numbers. Everything is pure consciousness for manifesting. How to start your persistence without feeling desperate. All right. Desperation is the illusion that you need something, or you're not complete without it, or you will maybe not survive. So desperation, to defeat desperation, you have to understand what it is. It is basically an illusion. Your mind will always try to see what it wants to see. If you think about this, ask yourself this question, right? Why is it that the first thought that I get, or the first thing or the most dominant thought in my mind is always something negative? Why isn't my first thought always something positive? Why do I have to take an effort to think of positivity? Why is that? Well, the reason is it goes back to your mind's control and how your mind is programmed. Our minds were programmed as problem solvers. Problem solvers mean we have to create problems. In order to solve a problem, you have to create a problem. There won't be no business if we're not problem solvers. So the mind actually does what it does. It hallucinates or create problems, and these problems now become negative. This is why your mind will always look at the worst situation first, because it's programmed that way. So we have to be aware of that and know that it's just an illusion. That's the quickest way that you can defeat desperation. It's just an illusion that's created through the mind. and you don't need it, or everything you want is already yours. You just have to allow yourself to get it to come into you. I know it sounds easy, but so many people struggle with that. You wouldn't believe it. So many people struggle with that because of the program that's been shoved in their minds all these years. And that's the thing. That's why, you know, it's good at this point we're at for people to become awakened. It's great because, to be honest with you guys, you know, this the system or everything that I always said this, and if you've been following me for a number of years, you are now seeing the veil coming off of you because we were just set up from the get-go to what I call, or what you call, fail. From the day you came out, you were already set up for this failure, or what you call not succeeding. And it's all tied to your mind. So this is why it gets maybe a little difficult. But with, you know, with the patience, with the persistence, it works. And let's be honest, many of us, what is it? Some people made 10, 20, 30, even 40 years of program. You're not going to get it out in 2 weeks or a month, man. Let's be realistic. It doesn't work that way. So you have to stick to what I call the program, the new program. That's how you're going to create. And then the biggest trick, I haven't mentioned this one. The next hurdle your mind puts on you, the delusion of time. Make it seem like you're running out. You're not getting anywhere. That's again another thing that we create. So you see, from it's like you can't. What's the saying, right? You can't win for losing, right? That's how you start. But the good news is that once you become aware of these things, you can see through it. It's an illusion. It's all a perception. That's a big key. It's a perception. And once you change your perception, you change your flow. Well, Mark, what's your next manifestation? My next manifestation is what I'm doing to reach as many people as possible, to spread this message so that everyone can become awakened and take charge and find their true purpose and passion. That's my biggest manifestation. All right, what do we got here? Okay, time exists. Focus on positive. That's good. That's good. That's good. And soulmate is not a normal situation. So much comments here. How can we heighten our intuition and manifest? All right, intuition, right, is a great subject. Great point. All right, if you want to heighten your intuition, here's a secret. Intuition only comes in present moment. Intuition can never come in the past or the future. So there's the key. If you want to heighten your intuition, practice being present. You have to become more present. When you're present, you're connected with all there is, and you're connected with the infinite intelligence, God, the universe, whatever you like to call it. And that now you get intuition. So by being mindful, and the best, I think one of the best ways to become present is if you live by the coast, you can go to the beach. You don't have to go swimming, but something about being by the ocean and the water, it does something to the mind. It really clears it. Or in nature, if you go in nature and walk, or just in the park, those things, it kind of creates a presence. You become more present, and that's how you can heighten your intuition. Somebody says, so when you pick numbers or gambling, do you listen to the voice in your head, or what do you do? Well, the first thing is this now. I mean, you guys have been following me for a number of years. Now, when it comes to the lottery and manifesting or winning the lottery, you have to change your mindset when it comes to certain. So the word gambling, I don't use gambling because gambling says that I'm playing a game of odds or chance or probabilities. And because I know how quantum mechanics work, now the mind works, is what I perceive. So if you want to create wealth, if you just do the lottery, your mindset cannot be gambling, because then you automatically put yourself in a different reality, and you're going to put yourself in a chance and probability, because that's what your conscious mind intelligently sees, and it's going to send the message to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind going to say, okay, I'm gambling, so it's 50-50. No, you have to look at it like I am deliberately creating. I am repeating this process till I get my results, because everything there comes in through you. There's no luck or whatever. Matter of fact, if you want to use the word luck, luck would be you're creating that perfect time or perfect place. So you're creating naturally. All right. Let's find pennies. That's good. How can we improve manifesting abilities? Again, if you want to improve manifesting abilities, ego. We have to get that mind under control. I mean, your subconscious mind, we know the subconscious mind creates resistance. We know that, and we know how to target the subconscious. We know how to, remove them. But the thing with the ego is you cannot use subliminals to get your ego under control. I know I see the subliminals all over, ego control. No, your ego you have to use your intellect. You have to use the ego against the ego. What do I mean by using the ego against the ego? You have to now rationally take charge of what you're thinking, and this is how you increase your manifesting abilities. You have to understand how your ego works, what it is, why it does what it does, and once you have those knowledge and information, then you see that your ego is just playing a role. It's not real, and that's when the light comes on. You say, "Man, I've been letting this childlike mind run me over for many, many years, right?" So now you know that. Initially you wanted, what we have here? How can you win jackpots? How can you win a jackpot at the casino? It's going so fast. How do I make resistance disappear forever? Okay, resistance, here's a key when it comes to resistance. If your mind, if whatever you think or believe, if it's not moving you towards what you want, that's resistance. If your mind or belief is moving you towards what you want, that's allowance. So if you want to remove resistance, start thinking only on what you want. That's the magic formula. You will remove you can remove it permanently, or won't come in, because you train your mind to only think about what you want. All right. Mark, what do you think the role of how to reprogram the mind for money to come in? Money, okay. So here's something I want you guys to understand. This, especially money. People don't understand how money works. Did you know that money ties in with your self-love? In other words, if you have a block or subconscious thing that you don't love yourself or you don't deserve love, you will have difficulty getting money to stay. You will manifest money, but keeping the money will be very difficult. Why? Because your mind must maintain its program of lack, or you don't love yourself. You will find a way to sabotage, to lose the money and all that. Many, many people, 99% of individuals, the limiting beliefs they have is about not loving themselves, because of how we were conditioned. Your parents tell you, "You're not good," and you see these things on the media, the perfect life, and this person look this way, and you look at yourself and you say, "Man, I don't look that way. I'm supposed to look this way." And then you get low self-esteem, and you don't love. See, those are programs. The media does that with the shows, and you got to be this height, and you got to look that way. And then you look at yourself and say, "Man," it makes you feel low, right? Systematically programming you. So you are perfect the way you are. You're constantly evolving in this moment. You're perfect. So once you get that mindset to understand that, oh, I'm good the way I am, I'm loved. You're perfect, man. And once you start to understand that, money's going to start rolling in. It's all a perception, It's all a perception. 90% of people are programmed. They're programmed through the media. They're programmed on television. It's so subtle you wouldn't even realize it. Those game shows, what do they call them? Real-time soap operas. Those true stories they put on the media. Those movies and all. If you notice how they work, they put a certain image, a certain lifestyle. And I wonder if you know this, 90% of all that is fake. Those people are really living that. It's a role. It's a design program so that it goes into your mind and you do. A matter of fact, I'm going to get deep. I'm going to show you something. They programmed you who to like and who to love. That's why when you get in relationships, it doesn't work. Why do you think half of marriages fail? You know why? Because you were programmed that this is the type of guy, this is the type of woman I'm supposed to marry. Or look, where did you get all that? From program, from the media. So when you get in a relationship, 2-3 years down the line, he's like, I thought this is my type. I thought I loved him. No, because you know why? You know why it doesn't work? Because your true self is resistant. So they even programmed you on what to like and who to love and who's handsome and who's pretty and who's not. All programmed. Do you realize that? It's subconscious. And it's even more powerful now because of like young kids. So when they get starting from young kids, when they get older now, they think, oh, this is the type of perfect. I'm supposed to have the perfect relationship. I'm going to do. And then what you call reality hits them, and they say, what happened? You've been programmed. So if you want to live your best life and you want to become your true self, listen to yourself. Listen to what you feel. Don't follow the norm. Go with what your heart is telling you, because that's you. Everything else is a subconscious plant or a program that permeates within your subconscious mind. And it's so powerful because it controls your actions and habits. It takes you for a ride. And then this is why relationships do not last, because everyone is being programmed for what they think love or their ideal partner is. And because you can't see it. That's something you must know. Got it? Makes sense now, right? If you think about it, right? Why doesn't relationships work? Why you always end up this person after 3, whatever? It's just like, what's going on? Because it's not your true program. It's not you. It's a false, a fake. Your true self is like talking to you. Got it? Got it? Got it. Where is, well, let's see. Oh, like, what is the best? Can you speak to your subconscious in your dream? You can speak, yeah, you speak to your subconscious in your dream, but you have to be lucid to do that. But your subconscious speaks to you in dreams, so you don't really need to speak to your subconscious. If you want to speak to your subconscious, you have to practice lucid dreaming. Does most people pick their parents in a relationship? Yeah, so there's a couple things you decided before you came here to this what we call Earth. Number 1, you chose your parents. Number 2, you chose your purpose or your destiny. And number 3, you chose free will. So it means that you already decided about which or how you're going to accomplish it. Not you physically, but your higher version of yourself, that soul or that higher self. So yeah, we do choose our parents. How do you release the subconscious loop? What is this one? How can we manifest on a timeline? I think what you're maybe referring to is how do we manifest on a timeline? Well, you mean a specific time? I don't quite understand that one. Do you mean focus on? Okay, what's we got here? How do you study? Mark, do you study Dr. Joe? Yeah, I'm familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I know he was he healed himself. I know he was in some kind of accident. I think he's a chiropractor, right, doctor? And he basically healed and fused himself with his body. And that goes to show you the power of your mind, your cells in your body, right? Your cells only know you. So remember now, the cells inside your body, they have no projection or images of the outside. Your cells don't know how you look on the outside. They only know based on the information you feed them on the inside. That's how they claim. So if you want to, be healthy, happy, keep vibrant, you have to feed yourself, your cell with empowering information, right, about yourself. That's why it's so important that I talk about self-talk. I use this example, and I say, when you go to your home or your room or wherever, I know you like to keep it clean, right? You like to keep your place clean. Well, it's the same thing with your mind. You live in your mind more. That's where you live. So you want to keep it clean. How do you keep your mind clean? By controlling your self-talk, by not letting your ego control the self-talk. Because you know what the ego self-talk is, right? All negative. It's all BS. It's all about what you don't have, what you can't accomplish. And you definitely don't want to play that game, because it will get you on a spiral and create a lot of resistance. Is there a simple way to manifest one you can't go wrong? Yes, there's a simple way to manifest, but I got to be honest with you. A lot of people, I could tell you now and I'll show you, but still so many people won't put it off. The simplest way to manifest is to this. Here's the motto. It is what it is. Whatever happens is happening for me, not to me. If you can get that, you manifest anything. Why is that? Because you are in a state of allowance. So whenever things come in, it's being controlled now through your higher self. You're no longer operating your intellect mind. That's the easiest and masterful way. You want to master that, that's how you do that. Let's see, how do you deal with losses in manifestation? There's no such thing as losses. There's no such thing as losing. Again, I use the word fail, but I use it to make a comprehension. There's no such thing as failure. Those are languages we made up as human beings. We did those things. You cannot fail. The only time you fail or lose is if you're gone, if you're not here. That's it. I mean, you've done your time and you leave the earth. That's it. If you want to call that failure, or even then, you're still going into another dimension. Life after death. Your consciousness survives, goes somewhere. Now, that's the key point. You can't look at life as losing or losses, because it doesn't exist. What you have to look at your life as is feedback. I'm getting a feedback loop. That's what I look at. So when things happen, there's two ways you could look at it. I could either look at it like a loss, which affects my self-esteem, affects my mentality, affects my vibration, which affects my manifestation. Or I could look at it what it really is, feedback. When I look at it as feedback, that does not affect my mentality, does not affect my mind now, because I know that I didn't lose anything. All I'm receiving is feedback. The feedback is teaching me or preparing me for something. And you can develop that mindset, what they say, game over, right? All right. Let's see what we got here. Live in the end. What does the third eye? Does our subconscious mind protect us from something bad happening to us? It's not your subconscious mind that does that, it's your higher self. Your higher self can see, dangers, it can see things. What it does, it sends information and it goes to your subconscious alerts you. But your subconscious cannot operate without influencing from your higher self. For the first time, I felt I have a car and a soulmate in a normal situation. It means I am normal. If you feel that way, yes, that means you're in flux. I call that in flux. You're definitely on the right path. What did you study before becoming a law of attraction teacher? Oh, I studied a lot of stuff. I studied quantum mechanics. See, guys, look, I knew that I was I knew that I was different, I was special, because here's what happens. When I was a kid, all right, and I remember this, I'll tell you the story I'll share with you. So I grew up in Jamaica, down in Jamaica. My parents are from Jamaica. So when I was a kid, I remember when I used to go to school, and there was this kid, I'm not going to say his name, but every time I go to school, I wear my sneakers, right? And we used to play football as a sport. We called it soccer, but it's football. And this kid would always step on my shoe, like bully me, right? And I would always go home and I always say, man, why does this kid keep bullying me or stepping on my shoe? And he did it and he did it. And I remember I asked my mom, I said, Mom, why do I go? And she always said to me, she said, whatever he did, whatever he does, just don't think bad stuff about him. I know he's angry or whatever. And the more she said that, I was like, man, you know what? I wish something would happen to this kid so that he'll stop stepping on my shoe. The next day I went to school, the kid wasn't there. And I was like, whoa, what happened? I found out on his way to school, a car ran over his foot. I mean, he was okay, but I think he broke his feet. That's when I was like, whoa, something is going on here. And it would happen all the time. So let's say someone would do something bad or say something bad about it. The instant I think something bad, I was like, oh, I don't want this person, or this person did it, something bad would happen to them. That wasn't normal. Even today, I have to control it. I realized that I could actually affect people subconsciously or the energy. I don't do that. That's when I knew. I said, oh, this is like, literally, if someone did something bad to me, all I have to do is just think about something bad happening and boom, there it happened. I've never shared that with anyone, but I'm sharing with you guys now. I'm going to show you a point here. So that's when I knew something was up. Then with books, I could get a book, it could be this big, and it could be the most difficult subject. I skim through the book, and I understand everything in the book. Quantum physics, anything. That was it. So what I'm saying is I discovered that, many of us, we have some innate abilities that we are truly connected and we can affect each other. And to show you that, the universe, when I did that thing, I was a kid, of course, and I was upset because it was stuff. But the point I'm showing you is how the universe works. It is like what you would call a polarity scale, a duality scale. If you think something over and over, you're powerful enough, it can affect someone. So what I started to do, I started to use it for good. So now when individuals, many of you, and as you can see, testimony, hey Mark, can you meditate for me to do this? Can you think about that? And every time I do that, whether maybe it's a client or someone in my group or whatever, emails, I say within 2 weeks I get an email, man, that worked, you did that. The point is, what I'm showing you guys is that there is more to us, all of us, than what we've been programmed. You see, we have the control and the ability to help and expand our consciousness and our awareness. It's all within us. So that's when you have your gifts, you have to use your gifts now to empower and help humanity. Okay? That's interesting. Energy in motion, right? How do you manifest? What is that here? Why am I able to manifest finances but not mate? Okay, if you're able to manifest finances but not a mate, I can guarantee you that it has something to do with your self-love, 100%. You have a subconscious issue about loving yourself. Those are the telltale signs when you can do, because what you're doing is you're what you call making up for something you feel you're lacking. Thank you for loving the channel. Astrology. How does the North so-called astrology? Astrology is effective, but astrology is just like a blueprint. It's like a guide. So astrology can never predict exactly what will happen. It can only give you a blueprint. It's like a map. Remember, you have free will, so you can change it. I mean, it works because the stars are planets. They have energy, and at the unique day that you were born, each of the stars are in a particular, what we call a space-time coordinate, and that coordinate affects our energy. So in that sense, that's how astrology works. But it cannot tell you specifically, on this day you will do that. No, only you can do that. You can tell yourself or command yourself to create whatever you want. What's your thoughts on depression and anti-depression? Now look, depression, I would say this. There are cases where depression, maybe you call it medically induced. There's some individuals that may have what we call hormonal imbalances. That's understandable. But I would say majority of depression are basically how we were trained and our expectation of our life, what we're supposed to have. So when you think you don't have something, or you don't think that you deserve something, it creates this feeling. So what you got to understand is, to help that, you have to always practice gratitude. If you can find something or anything to feel good about, you induce more endorphins, those feel-good chemicals, and you can overcome depression. What do you do if you feel a bit hopeless and helpless on a lonely path? I wouldn't say it's a lonely path. I would say it's more of a independent path. I mean, once you become awakened and you realize who you are, remember, as I said, you are the minority. So it's actually a good thing for you. As I say, the chosen ones, right? The star seeds. So be happy, because that's another thing about the society. They program you with? The majority. If you're not going with the majority, something's wrong with you. That's another illusion they put in your mind. Oh, if you're not with the crowd, you're weird or something's wrong with you. What I'm showing you is all those perceptions, they affect how you subconsciously see yourself. So you have to always be aware that you are creating your own way each and every moment. It's the perception we put on ourselves that creates what we see in our reality. So never let anybody tell you what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to look like, who you're supposed to like, who you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to career. Don't let anybody tell you that, because it's not you. You're going away from you. If you're a painter, if you like to draw, if you like to just sing, if you like to teach, if you like to, if it's in your heart, your higher mind will make way for you to become successful in it. The reason you don't do it, because you never give yourself the chance to experience it, because your mind is programmed to shut you down. So if you want to become the true version or the best person, or make money, or live a happy life, or get the best thing, you have to really see yourself as who you are and feel it. Don't let anybody ever change you or tell you this is how you got to be a certain way, because then you lose your power. You're no longer yourself. You're a bot, a robot. Many individuals, we suffer with that. The biggest thing that society, this matrix put on us, they give us the illusion that we are not good enough, that we can't do it. We need that person. We have to rely on the government. We have to rely on that. We have to be status quo. All that, again, is illusion to distract you, to make you a robot. And repeat that again, a robot, a not thinking being. You think you're thinking. It's programmed to make you think you're thinking. When you become awake and you get that, what you call that lonely path, now you're thinking. When you're not with the masses and you're on that path, you are now, you've broken out. It's just like that thing. You ever see those, these animals? And every year you have these thousands, I think it's gerbils, and they start to migrate. They all run in a crowd. They all run. And when they run, they all jump off of a cliff. So it's like, are you going with the crowd? Just because everybody's going with the crowd and they all jump off a cliff. To their what? They're doomed. Don't follow the crowd. The crowd is programmed. Many individuals are programmed. That's the truth. Gotta remember that. What do we have here? Do you believe that the world is run by negative energies at this moment? Well, there's always going to be a constant battle with duality. So at the moment, the world, well, you know, this planet right now, I would liken it to what I call a prison planet. A prison planet in the mind. You're trapped in a prison planet. Because the way this world is set up right now is it's actually controlled by few, and is the most is the media. So the media has agendas, and the agenda is to program the world according to what they see. So to answer your question, yes, and also no. Yes, meaning that if you follow the program, if you're engulfed in the media and the show thing and all this Hollywood stuff and everything like that, and all these people, and you're looking up to them and all this stuff, you're being programmed. But if you start to look on the outside and see for yourself that you are just in it, but you're not a part of it, it doesn't affect you. There's energies all around. Energies control everything. Mark, do you have Instagram? Yeah, I have Instagram. I think put it in my description there. How do you manifest certain things by certain dates? That's a good question I get when you want a certain date. Well, the thing you understand is, remember now that your subconscious mind cannot understand time, right? Doesn't understand. Matter of fact, your subconscious mind doesn't know your age. Again, that's all made up. Ages, time, months, all that stuff. We created that for logic and structure. Your subconscious doesn't understand that. But so if you want to bring something in a certain time, you have to bring that time as now. So you would say, it is now January 16th, and I have this. So you bring that into the present moment. That's one way you could get your subconscious mind to bring it. Bring everything in the present moment. When should we use our ego? Is our arguing with someone okay? Then I want to make something clear about the ego here, all right? So I'm not advocating that our ego is bad or it's not good. All I'm saying is, it's like the best way I want to put your ego is, your ego just had bad guidance. That's all it did. It has true intentions. It's designed to help you. Remember, it wants to keep you safe. It can think. It can reason. Your ego is the reason why you can visualize and have desires. Your ego creates those desires, which touches your subconscious and then reflects back to you. So your ego is a great tool. But the only issue with the ego is how it was programmed. And then you have to realize also, because your ego is so intelligent and so smart, your ego can trick you. It literally does that. It literally makes you believe that you're not in control, that it controls you. But the fact is, you're in control. How do you know you're in control? Very simple. Because when a thought comes in your mind, you have a choice. You can accept it or not. If your mind was really controlling you, that means whatever comes in, you'll be crippled. You can't do anything. Many people don't understand that. They understand that, wait a minute, if I have the freedom to decide a thought or to accept it, that's you, that's your true self. The ego plays on that and makes you believe you're not in control. And many people say, many people experience that. All right? You are your best psychic, right? Let's see what else we got here. Do you agree even with dependency? How did we discover? I think I mentioned that when I discovered we co-create our destiny, also real. The destiny is something that all of you, every single person right now, you came here for a purpose. You have some purpose. Unfortunately, many of us don't discover it. And the reason we don't discover it is because, we get trapped within the program of this matrix. But we all came here, we have purpose. What do you know about the reptilians and the Anunnaki? That's a very interesting, I can speak about the Anunnaki. So the Anunnaki is a race that supposedly came here thousands of years ago from a planet called Nibiru. This planet supposedly orbits our solar system every 5,000 years. The next time this planet will be visible is in the next 200 years. Now, what's interesting about the Anunnaki is that the Sumerian texts, or the Sumerians, were the race, and the Anunnakis, they supposedly came here to mine gold. And what happened was they encountered the first human beings, or primitive beings, and they basically gave us part of their DNA, and that's how we have modern day humanity. So many individuals say that the Anunnakis were the ones that kind of created humans. I mean, there are humans here, but there are different forms, about Neanderthal human beings. But what's interesting about that is this, that there's actually ancient sculptures, right? That the ancient Sumerians, I'm speaking now, this is 6,000, thousands of years ago, before astronomy, before anything about the planet, before we even knew the planets. The Sumerians, they knew the color of the planets, Mercury, Mars, every planet. Not only that, they knew the exact orbit, and they had these sculptures showing where Earth, Sun, and how it rotated. Thousands of years before modern science did it. And recently, modern science, within the next 25, 30 years ago, it matched up. They showed exactly the color, the position. How did they know that? They weren't astronomy. They weren't anything developed. So I always say, you have to have an open mind and don't shut off anything, because we live in a definite universe that's incredibly infinite, and anything is possible, right? That's my worst fear, seeing a reptilian. I'm not too familiar with reptilians, but what I've heard about reptilians is they're a race of shapeshifters, and they came here to deceive and run the world. I can speak on the Anunnaki because I'm pretty familiar with that, and that has archaeological evidence that shows plants and everything. And you have to remember that this universe is billions of years old. I mean, the Earth is relatively young. There's billions of other civilizations out there. I mean, it's infinite. So the idea of a race visiting the Earth thousands of years ago, it's not crazy. There's pictures and paintings of it all. But again, our minds were programmed to shut these things out. We have to understand. You know, there's an analogy that I've seen and it works with, and it says, you know, not being open to extra dimensions or extra beings or extraterrestrials is like taking a spoon of the ocean and have your spoon and say, well, there's no sharks in this spoon, so that means there's no sharks in the ocean. That's the analogy of saying, like, but just because I can't see anything in this part of my little universe, that means there's no extra civilization or extra thing. It's impossible to tell, guys. We live in an infinite universe. Matter of fact, it's not even that now. We've discovered that we don't have a universe now. We have a multiverse, right? Not a universe. Universe is one. Now we know there's multiverse. So did you know what you call the Big Bang? That's when we create our universe, right? Now they discovered that wasn't the creation. What they discovered now is that what we do, we inhabit, and this is through what's known as quantum loop gravity, to quantum physics now. So what they discovered now is that we have what we call bubble universe. So all these, we exist in these infinite spaces of bubble. So what happens is when two bubbles, like another dimension, another universe, when they bump each other, boom, that creates the Big Bang. That's how we came here. See that? So that's how the Big Bang came, from another bubble universe. And when it touched, it created an explosion and created a Big Bang. So if your mindset is about, you know, God and the universe, then you're going to say, well, God created infinite stuff. There's infinite universes. That is not a philosophy, guys. This is science now is showing us this. Again, counterintuitive, because a lot of people, minds have been used to the old way. That's right, multiverse. Not one universe. And that means if there's multiverse, And now we know about dimensions, and now we know that there's more dimensions. There could be up to, I think, 21 dimensions now, and that's through string theory. String theory is a part of physics that is attempting to unite what's called the theory of relativity, which Albert Einstein put together. You know, theory of relativity is gravity and energy and thermodynamics. So now we know that string theory now shows us that there's extra dimensions, and with these dimensions, it has dimensions of higher beings of higher consciousness. And it's really fascinating times to be alive in this era, because there's so many things that are going to break through, and we're understanding so much about our place in what we call this multiverse. And that means there's anything is possible. And these dimensions, as a matter of fact, they exist within this space and time right now, because everything, again, through quantum physics, is nothing is separate, right? Everything is together, it's entangled. And it's just an illusion that we think we're separate, but it really isn't. Right, just a little bit of extras science there to kind of get you guys thinking and see that, you know, this is really a fascinating time, right? Right. How does our third eye shift realities and manipulate reality into our favor? That's a good question. I wouldn't necessarily say it's your third eye. Basically, it's a conjunction with your subconscious and your third eye. But the thing about reality is this, and I want to make sure I say this because it sort of makes sense to you. Okay? There is no such thing as reality. Now, if we get technical, let's get technical here. What reality really is called a quantum foam, a fluidity of particles in what's known as a vacuum. That's reality. That's what it truly is. Now, there is a thing called perception, which we call reality. So to answer your question, if you want to change your reality or perception, it's what you think, visualize, and see and expect that conforms and becomes your reality. That makes sense. Hopefully, I try to make that a little easy to understand. Can you give me some advice about it? The law is your knowledge. How come you have not manifested a huge jack? What? Well, how come you have not manifested a huge, what is a huge jackpot? Well, maybe I have. I mean, I'm good. I mean, I'm not, with the lottery guys, I put certain stuff out to show and help, but it's not like I'm going to broadcast everything with the lottery. You know, some things it's just not important to know. Just know that everything is good. So I leave it at that. This is my first. Okay, what else we have here? Yes. So the thing I want you to keep in mind, guys, is that our perception will affect our external, what we call reality. Why do most people accept Jesus Christ or religion overall? It's a good question. Now, Jesus, I do believe Jesus existed. I do believe he was some sort of teacher. Now, when it comes to religion, this is really going to touch a lot of people's nerves. Trust me, I was in religion. I was a Christian, a kid. I've been in, I know. So here's the thing on religion. Religion was basically created as part of a distraction. Remember, men created religion. The Bible has a lot of information, but it's also been doctored. It's also been, 6,000 years apart. Some of these things. So you have to understand that a lot of things are beliefs that put us in a frame of a program. Think about it. How can you control people? What do you control them what to believe? I mean, if you think about it, as a young child growing up, you didn't choose your beliefs. You didn't choose them. You grew up, your mom says, what are you? Oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Protestant, I'm that. Oh, are you political gender? You didn't choose that. If I ask you a question, why do you do that? If you just say to me, well, because my parents did it. My parents were it. So you don't choose your beliefs. Your beliefs are chosen for you. That's what I'm showing you right here. Many things that you brought up believe in, they aren't yours. They're not you. They're somebody else. They're not even you. It's not even, the thing you believe about yourself, about money, all that. That's not you. It's your parents. It's your uncle. It's authority figures. And you grow up your whole life, and you adopt this identity, which is not yours, and you don't even know why. When someone says to you, hey, man, why do you believe that? Why are you this? The only answer you come up with is, oh, my parents did it. My family did it. And you don't understand the bigger picture here is that it's not you. You didn't choose that. So what I'm showing you, I'm teaching you to think for yourself, to realize your true self. If you don't realize your true self, you become what I call this puppet or robot. See that? If you perceive money to be easy, it should be easy. Yes, according to quantum physics, here's what it works now. According to quantum physics now, there is no such thing as struggle. The universe does not struggle. Struggle is something, again, program created by human beings. Quantum particles can be in multiple states at the same time. Quantum particles can exist and be entangled. There is no struggle. Quantum particles are what creates the real stuff. So if you see that, then you must know that if I'm struggling, it is because of my own mind and my own beliefs. The universe does not struggle. So it's literally everything can come to you easy as long as you know to adopt the right mind frame and how to become present. See how it works? What works best for you? Do you still have online classes? I have online Facebook group. Yeah, you can get on a private. Why do everything's okay? What abilities do you personally have besides manifesting? Yeah, well, the ability I have, and I said the story earlier, I'm really, really good with helping other people accelerate their manifestation. So if someone says, hey, can you help me do this? I'll accept it by helping them visualize it and manifesting it or seeing it. And I put my energy towards and help them. That's one of my gifts. I also am great at interpreting dreams. What else can I do? I can astral travel. I can astral project. I can lucid dream. I do that a lot. That's one of the good things. What else? I can remote influence. Remote influence is what I do with the lottery. That means I'm really good at seeing numbers, bringing them out, and winning them. What else can I do? I can also remote view, but that is in the infancy now. But as I practice, I get better at it. What else do I have? I'm really good at reading people's energy. And what else? I can know someone's issue within 5 seconds of speaking to them. When the first 5 seconds of talking to you, I can tell you exactly what's wrong with you or what's the problem you have with whatever it is what you create or manifest. Yeah, and I'm really, really very strong into intuition. All right. Yep, I've studied metaphysics for 47 years. Mark clarifies it all. I'm glad I could help. I guess you would say I'm an energy healer. Yes, that's part of it, right? How do you differentiate our own thought versus inspired thought? That's a great question right there. It's good. All right. So when it comes to thoughts, all right. So there's going to be there's always two thoughts operating at the same time in our mind. Okay, we have intellect, thought, reason, rational. Then we have the intuitive or the true thought. So the best answer is this. An inspired thought will feel like a silent power. It has a silent power to it. It's a state of knowing, or it's the best way I can describe to you. An intuitive or real thought is when you act instinctually. It's like an instinct. You just feel like the natural thing to do. Like I grabbed something here. I didn't have to think about it. When it's not intuitive or not inspired, it's something that you're thinking about, and then you create a little bit of nervousness or anxious. The secret is the feeling will always guide you to let you know what kind of thought it is. So if you're ever feeling anxious, nervous, it's not coming from your higher mind. It's coming from your conscious, logical mind. But if you ever do something and you don't have any type of feeling, but after you do it, you catch yourself and say, "Oh, that's the truth. That's it. That's what it is." Mark, do you have psychic abilities? I guess I have channeling abilities. I channel a lot of information. I don't know if you guys know this, but you know, when I started doing YouTube, right, and these videos I put out, I don't know if you noticed. When I turn the camera on and I start to speak, that's not really me now. I'm channeling something from a higher state, from a higher dimension. All those things I'm talking about, and they come out and it sounds so easy. I'm being like a channel. I'm a tool that's being channeled information. I've never read from a script or edit anything. And it was funny because I remember one video that I did like a couple years back, and someone says to me, and he says, because you know, when I channel, when I get the information, if you notice, I don't always look into the camera. I'm looking here because that's, you know, I'm just getting information. So sometimes I can look. But I remember one comment, and the guy was said to me, he says, "Man, look, he just keeps looking. You could tell he's reading the script because everything was coming out so perfect." And I thought that was a compliment because little did he know that I didn't script anything. None of these videos are scripted. It's just I pop in and I channel, I get into that zone, and the information comes and I speak it out to you guys. So I would say that's more what I do. That's how I'm able to get all this information out to you guys, because it's really coming from a higher source, right? It's coming down through me as part of my purpose, right? To give it to you guys. So I'm just a channel of a channeler. That's what I do. Got it. Let's see. How do you focus on a certain amount of manifesting in a short period of time? What's your technique? Yeah. Now, somebody wants to ask about, you know, why the lottery? Well, I think so. Here's what I think. So I believe that when I won the lottery and I kept winning the lottery and all that stuff, that was just a part of my purpose. That's something I planned way before I got here. It was part of it to just kind of awaken people to say, wait a minute, who's this guy here? This guy's like winning lotteries, and he's talking about quantum physics, and he knows the subconscious mind, and how the heck does he know all this stuff? And then the people he's helping, they're winning. What's going on? So I believe that was just something that was programmed in me to help you. But I believe the bigger picture here is not, for me, is not the lottery. I mean, yeah, you guys, I want you to help you. Yeah, win the lottery, make it, do it. So I'm a channel to help you do that. But the bigger purpose for me is to teach and to show you your true self. The lottery was just an opening that I used to get you here, to show you, say, look, you can do this as well. You can win the lottery. And I think what really fascinates so many people is that because the lottery, you know, is supposed to be like this difficult thing, and it's you know, it's odds and games, and as you can see, that doesn't exist. I mean, if you've been following me for many years, and you know, I mean, in my Facebook groups, I consistently post. I don't post them on YouTube, but I consistently post big wins. I don't put them on YouTube, but you can go in the group. And it's just consistently, and I guess you could say within, what is it, 1, 2, 3, even 4 years of doing this, I would estimate over, just to estimate over wins, just for you guys, it's in the millions that I've manifested over 4 years, millions. And I'm not to brag and say, oh, Mark does this, but that's not my purpose here. I mean, the lottery is just a vehicle. I'm here more to just teach you and help you guys. And if it's the lottery you want to learn, I'll teach you how to help you. But it's more about unlocking your true potential, your true self, then you can get anything. I mean, your life can be whatever you want it to be. You can win the lottery, you can do this, you can do that. You can be just like I do. You can do it. No different. We all have that innate ability, and I'm here as a teacher, so to help you to bring it out. That's why we have teachers. That's why we came here. We all came here for a purpose. Some of us are teachers, healers, a little bit of both, and I'm just a hybrid. I could say I can pretty much help in all those areas. Do you use and believe in crystals? Yes, crystals are powerful, powerful, powerful. Crystals have unique atomic components. Within a crystal is what's known as a lattice structure. Means that the atomic particles in the crystals are arranged in straight, neat lines like this. The reason why that's important, just to let you know that crystals are the only elements on the planet that have this lattice structure. Nothing else have a lattice structure. In other words, everything else, the atomic particles are all jumbled up. Why that's important is this, because in crystals, the way the atoms are arranged in a straight line, it's a better conductor for energy amplification. Think about this. Cell phones, this computer, everything, our technology relies on crystals. Liquid display quartz crystals, LCD, Pentium processors, the things in your phone. The reason why your phone don't blow up and overload, the reason the computer doesn't blow up and overload, the reason why the processors can take a trillion bits of information is because of the crystal components, because of the lattice atomic particle structure within a crystal. It funnels energy efficiently. So with that being said, if you know how to use certain crystals, you can amplify your energy. Remember, all of us are consistently putting vibration out. We're a big radio state. We're giving off energy. So when you have crystals, the right crystals, it can match and it can increase your manifestation. That is science. See? It's not mystic or, oh, people don't understand crystals. I just showed it to you. It's in your components. Why do you think we use crystals? It cools energy and it transfers really, really well. See how it works? But again, certain crystals. Now, there's other crystals that the crystal have to choose you. When the crystal choose you, it means it has to bond with you. Many crystals, you can get them, like fluorite, green aventurine, all those crystals, amethyst, those are good crystals to start. But next level crystals, like Moldavite, very, very powerful crystal. That crystal have to bond with you. I know I made videos about Moldavite, and so many people went out and bought Moldavite, and it didn't go well for them. Let me show you why. Because what you don't understand about Moldavite, first of all, Moldavite is not, it's an alien crystal. Did you know that? Moldavite is not from Earth. Moldavite came here in the 17th, 16th century from a meteorite, and it actually was something in Eastern Europe. And the way the meteorite came in and interacted, I think it was a lava crater, and it fused, and that fusion created Moldavite. It's a very rare crystal. And the properties of Moldavite is that the crystal is a cleanser. It literally would, if you want to know who's for you, who's not, if you want to clean your life and become, like, get all that negative energy and all this stuff, it's going to throw a lot of people out of your life. So if you're not ready, and it's going to create chaos first, but from chaos will come order. So what Moldavite does If it hasn't chosen you, you can get it and you can put it in your room. You'll start to get dizzy. You'll start to get nauseous. You'll start to get these headaches. That's the crystal. Yeah, it literally does that. So you have to let the crystal bond with you. So how do you let the crystal bond with you? You have to kind of merge with other crystals first. Then you have to kind of do some cleaning, you know, like mentally get your subconscious mind or emotional part. Then Moldavite will come to you. So don't go out there and go buy Moldavite now, because if you're not ready, because I know I'm going to get Mark, don't do it. He has to choose you. I'm just giving you a brief of it, okay? I'm not familiar with the 2-cup method. I've heard about it. Spell the name of the crystal. Moldavite. It's M-O-L-D Vite, V-I-T, Moldavite. Tips on ignoring your current reality so that you can manifest your dream reality. The best way, and I showed an opening of this, is what I called holographic impersonation or imprintation. You know, we exist on a 2D surface, but we project in a 3D hologram. If you guys don't know that, newsflash, ding, 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 ding. You and I and everything, we exist on a 2-dimensional surface, like a hologram, right? And we've seen 3-dimensional space and time, and we use time as 4 dimensions. Yes, our reality exists on a 2D surface, so it's like a hologram. That's what I mean by hologram. That means that we're 2D, light, and we reflect on it. So let me back up and show you how we discovered this. It's through the study of black hole. A black hole is basically a star, like our sun is a star, right? And depending on how big a star is, the immense amount of weight a star has, it can tear a hole into space. First of all, if you don't know this, now you know. Space, yes, space, it can be ripped open. It's a fabric. I mean, we don't have the energy, but enough energy, you can rip a hole into space right now. Stars do that. That's what we call them black holes. They're so heavy, they tear the hole into space. So that means anything will fall in. So light can't even escape it. Now, on the surface of the black hole is what's called the event horizon. If you notice a whirlpool, if you take your water and you plug it out and there's water stuff, see on the outside of it, the little whirlpool part, the fringe, that's called the event horizon. So what happens now is that everything, our body, all our cells are made up of information. The universe is information. It's called qubits, like bits, information, right? So what we discovered, this is about 4 years ago, all the information, it never ever goes into the black hole part. It spreads on the event horizon, on a 2D surface. See that? You and I, information, it spreads over it. So that's how physicists, we discovered that our reality, our world is actually on a 2D surface, but being expressed through our brain and our eyes or whatever as 3-dimensional. So if you want to ignore your reality, you got to use what I call the holographic imprintation, meaning that you see your current reality, observe it, but you project in your mind's eye your new reality. You have to see the new reality blending with the old reality. That's how you bring that in. See how that works? Why is the present moment so important? Well, the present moment is very important because that's all there is. There is the present is where everything comes together. Look at time as this. Look at space and how it works. So we got to look at like a block. So the universe. Let's look at the universe as a block. And in each block there is, so time has coordinates. So let's say this present moment has a coordinate. Then we have another present moment that has a coordinate. You might call that the future. And there's another present moment that you may call that the past. But the thing is, they're all in the same space and they're happening right now. They're just at different points. Get it? They're different coordinates. So when you think of time as linear, like the past and the future, you have to understand something. The only reason you have a past is because you have memory. If you couldn't remember, it's not the past. The past is a memory. So it's an illusion in your mind. So basically, what you call the past is just a present moment at a different coordinate. So the reason why it's important to be in the present moment is because when you're in the present moment, you are connected to all that there is. And then you're connected to your true self, because there's no future or there's no past. It's just a different coordinate. So in the present moment, you have no resistance. You're able to manifest more clearly because you're guided through intuition from your true self. That's present moment is so important. But we've conditioned to stay out of the present moment. Two things condition us. The matrix, which is the false prism. And the second thing that does it is our own ego. It can't be in the present. Do you know why your ego can't be in the present moment? Can anybody answer that? I want to show that because I want to show you something important. Can anyone tell me why your ego can never put you in the present moment? Why does our mind put us in the past and the future? Anyone in the comments? Okay, here's one comment. Because it wants to go forward. That's good, but I'm looking for something deeper. Why? So my mind wants to go forward, I know that. But why does my mind persistently avoid the present? Why is my mind always in the future, always in the past? Why can't it accept the present? Can anyone tell me that? I'm going to give you the answer. Why can't it? This is here. Because it can only live in the past. That's true, but that's not correct. Ego is the past. No. What else we got here? Ego, we have been brainwashed. No. It runs off adrenaline. No. No. Let's see. So you can create more. No. No. Ego does not live in the present. It's aware of the present. So it can go in the present, but why does it want to go to the present? Because it's safe in the present. No. All right, here's the answer. Good question. Some good answers there, guys. Ego is childish, yes, but here's the reason. The reason your ego will never put you in the present is two things. Number one, remember that your ego has limited processing power, right? Remember that your ego, your conscious mind can only process, let's say, 20,000 thoughts, right? And your subconscious infinite. So that's number one. The first reason your ego can never put you in the present, because if it goes in the present, it gets overloaded. It's too much information. You can't handle it. Because in the present, here goes the second one. The reason ego never puts you in the present is because when you're in the present, it can't control you. It has no control in the present moment. Your ego can never control. Your ego loves control. Here's why. Because that's why it puts you in the future, in the past. Because when you're in the future, in the past, it's controlling you. It's showing you what to think, what to view. Your past, you remember it, it has control. But when you're in the present, you can't hold on to nothing. It's too much information. It feels it literally is going to die. It says, oh, I can't handle it. No. Man, no. Come on. We're going into the past. We're going into the future. That's why your mind deliberately does not want to put you in the present moment. It goes down to it cannot control you. If it can't control you, it thinks that it's going to die. Literally, did you know that? Did you know that your ego believes that when it loses control, it dies? Did you know that? This is why your mind, and I can show you, because the side effect is you get anxiety and you worry. It's the mind's belief that it's going to die. This is why your mind tries so hard to always keep you in the past and put you in the future. Because it needs control. Think about it. Your mind loves to plan. It's the beauty of planning. It wants to plan your whole life, 10 years, 5 years down the line. It wants to plan everything because it wants control. Present moment, no control. And the beauty of this is, when you're in the present, Your mind can't come there. That's good. You don't want your ego in the present. Now you're connected, and now you can get information, right? If the ego isn't in control, what is? Exactly. You answer the question. Your higher self, the real us. That's who's in control. The thing you got to understand is this. And I get this question. Okay, if we have this higher self, this powerful part of us, why doesn't it just come in and just kick the ego to the side? And why doesn't it just says, hey, just do this? Okay, it's a good question, right? Makes sense. That's a powerful part. Well, the reason your higher self can never come into your conscious or ego mind, again, because your mind isn't built with enough memory or power to handle the information. Your higher self is so intelligent, has so much knowledge, so much wisdom, that if it comes into your mind, it can literally make you go crazy, insanity. That's why I never go there. It says to you, it talks to you, and it tells you, control your mind. It knows you aren't in control. That's what it says. Hey, listen, man. Or it says, listen, whenever you control that mind, I'm coming and I'll help you. And until then, I'm chilling right here. I'll try to guide you and I'll do a thing. But you got to get that guy under control, because if I come in there, he's going to die, because he's not big enough. He doesn't have much power. So that's why your higher self can never interfere, goes into your mind. It's just too much information. You know, your subconscious processes about 3 billion bits of information per second. Think about that. Your conscious mind, we do 20,000 thoughts in a day. See that? So that's why your ego does what it does. I mean, it wants control. Always remember that. Your mind is all about control. Is there anything I can do to speed up law of attraction intentions to manifest? Being present speeds up it. Practice being present moment. If you can control your mind from being in the future and the past and focus on right now, you speed up manifestation. How does that work? Well, it shows how time works, you know. The past, the future, whatever you call it, it's an illusion. It's all here now. So if you're here now, you're technically speeding up, or have your manifestation can coagulate together, and then you can experience it as a real thing in what we call an event in space-time. Is this information new? No, this information is been out. This information is out, but they're not. You think they're gonna put this information on mainstream for you, for all of you guys? You think you're gonna find any of this stuff on the mainstream media? Why would they do that? Why would they give you secrets to control your life? So it's out. You just got to do your research. Let's see. Ego is also full of pride. Let's see. Thank you. What's the thoughts on how to listen to subliminals? Subliminals, the best subliminals are more effective when you're sleeping, because that's when your mind is wind down and you're able to bypass your critical divide, because your subconscious is at play. So I would suggest most effective time for subliminals, sleep time. Do you think the matrix will eventually crumble? Yes, the matrix must crumble, because as you can see right now, what's going on, there's so many individuals being awakened right now. And the age of Aquarius, you know, we're seeing through the veil. So we're going to witness a new era where, you know, humanity will rise and there'll be a different change. And we'll start to see now and take advantage of our full potential. Can you listen? You can listen to subliminals while doing tasks, yes. But they're highly more effective when you're asleep. What are subliminals? I'll have you guys answer that. So can someone answer for me, what are subliminals? There's someone here in the comments, she wants to know what subliminals are. You guys know what subliminals are. Someone describe to me what subliminals are. That's a pretty easy one. Many individuals should know what subliminals are, right? What are your tips for sleep affirmation to reprogram the subliminal? People are asking how to focus on the present. Okay, all right, so I'll show you how I do it, and maybe you can pick it up. Okay, so to focus on the present moment, here's how you do it. You literally have to get out of the time thing, the linear time thing. That's the trick. So the way I live is I don't live in linear time. In moments. So I could break my days or my task up in what I call blocks. So just to keep my mind, in structure, I'll go in maybe 3-hour increments. So if anything I'm doing, what I'm doing now is what I'm doing right now. Engage with you guys. I'm in the present. Then once this is over, I just go to the next thing. In other words, I don't look tomorrow or next year. If you ask me what you're doing tomorrow, next year, I can't tell you because I go in the blocks. That will compartmentalize my mind and bring me down to being present. Another thing you can do is just notice how you feel. Your feeling can tell you if you're in the present or you're in the past. When you feel at peace, you contemplate, you're in the present. You gotta remember, if you're in the present, you cannot have fear, doubt, or worry. Fear, doubt, or worry are all your imagination. They're in the mind. They're in the memory of the past or in the future. They cannot exist in the present. It's impossible to have a problem or a fear in the present because a problem is something that your mind perceives something to happen. It's not happening now. So that's another way. And another thing is one simple question I always ask myself is, if I catch myself, I just ask one simple question. I say, is this happening now? And I look around and I know it's not happening, so I know I'm in the present. Those are some tips that you can use that can keep you in the present. And I can guarantee you, once it's more stuff that you can do and incorporate. Once you start to do that, that's when things change, and that's when you really, really start to take off with your creative power, your manifesting powers, so to speak. How do you visualize? Visualizing, you can do it. You can either do it 2 ways. You can close your eyes. You can see something in the mind. Or if you have difficulty, you can take a picture or image, look at it. When you're looking at it, just start to think about, what you'd look like having it or being a part of it. And then you repeat, rinse and repeat, and that's how you do it. Okay, good. Someone answered the question. Good. Subliminal audio refer to sounds played at a level you are unable to hear consciously, but the subconscious mind can perceive. That's exactly correct. That's what subliminals are. Subliminals are messages that are targeted to your unconscious mind that your conscious mind cannot hear. And the reason it's so powerful is because your unconscious mind controls about 99% of our life. So that's what subliminals are. Right, let's see what we got. 148. We'll go another 10 minutes before this live. I know these are good live here. We'll do 10 more minutes here so that we can help so many people here. I know a lot of individuals. I get tons of email guys, and trust me, I want to answer them all, but I'm only one person. So when I can get them, I get them, and this is a good time for a lot of you guys to get information. And look, this information, a lot of individuals don't have access to this, and a lot of you don't know it. It's like baby steps. So I see that, and I appreciate the eagerness. You want to learn how to create your life. Who wouldn't want to know it? They don't teach you this. So that's why I said, look, let me just come on here and get some help some people so they can better structure your life and change your reality, right? Synchronicity, what we have here. How can we express gratitude to you and support you? To tell you the truth, it's my duty to do this. So that's the gratitude enough to see you, to see you guys do it, to see you guys, so good. I say I get so many emails about, you know, people just doing it, man. They're changing their life, testimonials, and I have so many. I put them on both my websites. You can go check them out at heartandvibrationalnumbers.com, Mind Center World. I'm matter of fact, it's so much good stuff that I'm going to create one place just for just testimonials, where you see so many people testimonials, and then you can go there and then you can read it, and then you can just inspire you to just do it yourself. Because you know the way the system works, you know how your mind works. There's no other way. It's the correct way. That's why you see so much people have changes in their lives, because they found the keys. You know, the keys to do it, and that's it. What's your thoughts on semen retention? Oh, I heard that one. Let's see. Well, I'll put it this way. I don't know if you know this, but your body will find a way to always release that semen. So you can keep it, and you can say you can go 2 months, but in actuality, you haven't gone 2 months, because what happens is when you have that much buildup of semen, yeah, you have a lot of testosterone, but you actually, what your mind actually does, your mind actually creates you to have a wet dream. You won't even remember it. So your body naturally finds a way to release semen. So there's no way you can retain it. Now, does it help to manifest? Yes and no. It can create a lot of energy, but it can also create, if you have too much testosterone, it creates a lot of anger and emotion. So it's all about balance. Now, I mean, we talk about sexual energy now. A lot of people don't talk about it. That's taboo. You know, it seems to be taboo. But, you know, sexual energy, you know, with the right partner is one of the, somebody asked me the fastest way to manifest. That's one of the fastest way to manifest. If you and your partner, and I should share this with you. So if you have a partner and he or she has the same, let's say the same mindset, or you say, hey, I want to visualize this, and you visualize that. What you do is, when both your partners are engaged in that sexual heightenedness, right before that, what you call climax, you both speak out outwardly what your desire is in a question format, or you both say it simultaneously. That creates a huge energy, sexual energy, and you can manifest easy. That's what I say about that. Now, this is YouTube. We don't want to get too technical here. All right. What does it mean when you see a variety of angel numbers? Angel numbers are synchronicities, are signs of the universe. They're telling you, go this way, go that way, you're on the right path. They're just like signs on a road. Exit 2, exit 3, food and gas, next part. It's your guide. I don't understand detachment. You say that if it happens, fine. If it doesn't, fine. But if I want something, then how could I think that it doesn't happen, it'll be okay? Like, please explain. All right. It's a paradox. So here's how it works. When you're detached, what you're basically saying is this. You're saying that nothing owns me. What you're saying to the universe is, fine, especially for people with the lottery, because this is the thing. People get so attached to the lottery, because I know it could be a life changer. You could win millions, hundreds in one time. I get that. But if you don't detach, then you create the resistance. So what it says is, I'm fine if I get it, if I don't. You're not saying that you don't want it. What you're saying is, I am open. That's the secret to detachment. That's the trick. When you're open, the universe will give it to you. So why will the universe give it to you? Because according to the universe, you've already won the lottery. You've already got it. Remember, time exists on what? Coordinates, different points in space and time. So everything is already yours. So if you would desire to win the lottery, you're playing and you're visualizing it, you've won already, literally. So by being detached, the universe is giving you what's already yours. See how it works? So it's not saying that I don't want it. It's just telling the universe that it's like a coded language. You could call it a secret code or whatever, but just letting the universe know that that's the cue that I'm ready to receive it. I believe it. That's the best way I can put detachment to make sense. How much gratitude to God for working. What's all we got here? I dreamt that a friend of mine gave me $150. What does that mean? Now, money's coming to you. That's the first meaning. Also, 150 is a message for you. It's a message. Go look it up. Number 150. It's a message from your guides for you. I dreamt that my friend gave me $150. I just mentioned that. 150 is the meaning, and the second part of the dream is that money's coming to you. Is it being uploaded to listen again? Yeah, this will be uploaded after, I think, about 15, 20 minutes. YouTube re-uploads it. How can I achieve 100% results, 6 numbers lottery? What achieve? What am I? What's the missing link? Well, look, the lottery, guys, is this. Is number one, you have to believe that you can win. That's number one. Number two, you got to play. Number three, you can't play and think it's a gamble, Artie, but you do have to have a budget and be responsible. Don't go spreading all your money. It takes one ticket to win. Then you have to visualize it. Then you have to detach and let it go. And then you got to know what's going to happen. That's how you're going to win. I had a dream of a man giving me free food at cooked turkey, a cooked turkey to be exact. Okay, so what that dream means now, the free food is basically saying that there's something that you are still holding inside of you that need to be released. The cooked thing is something that has been resolved, not completely, but something that has to be resolved. And I think you probably know more about it now that I just gave you some light on it. What is it? A red dragonfly landed on me and stayed with me. That's a very good positive sign. And dragonflies are usually signs of guides, or we call them angels. Right? What else we got? A couple minutes here. More, do you need some water? Yeah, I may do. I've been talking for 2 hours. So a couple more minutes though. I'll get some when I get off. Mark, what's the best affirmation for money? Best affirmation for money is this. Why is it easy for me to make such and such? So if you want to say, why is it easy for me to make hundreds of dollars? Why is it easy for me to make hundreds of thousands of dollars? Why is it easy for me to make millions of dollars in income? Why is it easy for me to make hundreds of dollars in income? Why is it easy for me to make thousands of dollars in income? Why is it easy for me to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in income? That's the universal affirmation if you want to have more money come into your life. You know how it works, right? If you're saying, why is it easy for me to make hundreds of dollars in income? Then your subconscious mind has no choice but to prove to you why it's easy. So it will make a way for you to make hundreds of dollars easy, because it's illogical. It can't think. It only can hear that, and it picks up that vibration and says that's what you want. So your life must become around it. That's the easiest one for money, guys. All right. So I'll do this another time. Again, of course, I don't plan these. I just do them when I'm inspired, or I get that feeling, or my higher self says, hey, do these, I'll do them. But I know I have a lot, but that's all the time I have, guys. Hopefully this helped a lot of you, and I'll do this again. All right, guys? Thanks. Good.